Incredible greetings. Hello, everyone. Incredible greetings. All right, so what we're going to do today. I haven't, or actually, I have quite a few designs I have to do. So my goal is to not be like my typical self and overthink things and overanalyze it and do a little bit team too much with this design, because I have this set of shirts to design. I have to design shirts, party favors, and some other stuff for my niece's birthday that's also on Sunday. And I have to start the process of designing my grandmother service program and all the other things I'm going to make. So it's going to be a busy 3 days of designing for me. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and get this off because I got to get started and get this done. We are going to, I'm going to show you guys the first part of what I go through and kind of like my thought process when I am starting a design. And then if you're in my Foundation of Designing program over on 365 Creative Academy, you will see how all of this comes together and how I will put it together. I'll break down what I fully break down what my thought process is and how I'm setting this up, how I want it to maybe be different from any other of the other designs. Like if I'm really trying to make it different. So we're going to go through all of that. But in this live mini class, you're going to see, like I said, really part one of what I do whenever I'm creating a design, especially something that is themed like this, where they said, hey, PJ Masks, and they gave me like the birthday, like who it's for, what they want on the back. So I kind of have some ideas in my head, but before I can fully start designing, I have to set that foundation. Part of it, as you can see, I've already done in that I have already gone and searched for I'm not going to survive. Hold on one second. I've searched for images. TikTok, y'all going to hear me yell at my husband, but give me 1 second. Alrighty. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Just give me a moment. I do have to share this out to my groups, so bear with me while I'm sharing this out. If you are watching and you are enrolled in Foundations of Design, or if you would like to enroll, you can still join us for this bonus session. We do have an actual scheduled session this evening, so that this bonus session is not replacing this evening session, but this is a bonus one. So you guys will get to really see full on designing and my thought process and how I go about stuff and how I arrange it and, seeing all the intricacies of it. Oh, too much water, not enough ice. I mean, now he know I love my ice. All right. Let me just share this out real quick. But yeah, you can still join. You can head over to our website, shop.hsink365.com to enroll. Oh man, did I? Oh, crapola. Dang it. I copied it, but I copied something else. Well, when I opened up my Zoom, it copied something else. So now I got to go back to get my, forget it. I'm just going to retype it out, my description for this live video. Let's go here and birthday. All right, just give me a second. I got to share this out. Okay. So go ahead, double tap that screen. if you're watching over on TikTok, if you're watching on all the other platforms, go ahead, hit that thumbs up, leave a comment, drop an emoji, drop a heart, drop a smile emoji, a Y emoji. This is your first time catching me live. Let me know where you guys are watching from. All right, let's go again, group, and let's go here. And one more option, share to a group. Okay, there we go. All shared out. Let's jump into this. All right. I am Shakia, the professor of HSINK365. We are the parent company of Silaholics Anonymous, which is my free online platform where I have been teaching guys how to design, use, and master Silhouette Studio, as well as the Cameo machines. I have all 4 generations for the past 8 years. So definitely go check out our content over on Silaholics Anonymous on YouTube. We also have Honestly Speaking's YouTube, where we pretty much do everything else. And then we also have 365 Creative Academy. So I'm trying to make that one a little bit like different on the content. We're going to end up doing a little bit more business stuff over there. And those are the places you can catch us for free. But we also have an amazing, incredible academy, 365 Creative Academy, where we help you to unlock your creativity in a wide variety of classes, trainings, and programs. This is going to be finished off in our Foundation of Designing program. With that one, we use a combination of Silhouette Studio and Photoshop to teach you about designing. So it doesn't really matter which program you're using. The foundations of it is pretty much the same across the board in how you will approach a design. So it doesn't matter if you are a Silhouette user, a Photoshop user, an Illustrator user, CorelDRAW user, Affinity Photo, Affinity Designer, Canva user, Word, all these other ones, the foundation remains the same. Oh, my bad. Here you go. Get your box. Thank you. The foundation remains the same in how you approach the designs. So if you're interested in taking your designs to the next level and unlocking your creativity, join us in the Foundations of Design program or our Essentials to Silhouette Studio. Those are live right now. If you really want to learn the inner workings of Silhouette Studio, I highly recommend that even if you think you know Silhouette Studio, that you enroll in the 30-day training for Essentials of Silhouette Studio. Learn Silhouette Studio in 30 days because I'm telling you, it'll change your mindset. It really will. All right. So let's go ahead and jump into this. So first part of this is really looking for images. Because something like this, you can get like screenshots and snippets from the actual show. If you want to minimize getting, some of those live action ones or like stuff coming up from YouTube snippets and things like that, you want to put clip art behind it. Some people will search SVG. SVG is only going to give you results that are vector based. Some people will search PNG. You're limiting yourself. Some people will search JPEGs. It's still limiting yourself. What you want to do, well, for me, I'm not going to say what you want to do, but for me, what I do is I search just basically for clip art, and I'll go through several pages and things like that, just looking for different images. And I'm looking for high resolution images if I'm going to utilize those cutouts and things like that. Oh, before we get into this, let me go ahead and provide this disclaimer, okay? Anytime you use or you create designs using any type of trademarked and licensed characters, words, phrases, anything like that, you are putting yourself at risk. If you are, selling them and even technically for personal use. This right here is for educational purposes only. Do what you will. It is up to you to take on that risk if you decide that you want to create content or create products based around licensed and trademark characters, images, and things like that. You do so at your own risk. I am not the copyright police. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Should something happen to you, get a cease and desist. They sue you, baby. It's not coming out of my pocket. I can't help you pay that bill. So do as you will. Take this as educational purposes. You can take what I'm showing here and apply it to images that you or characters that you have drawn and designed yourself, or things that you have gotten licensing for. Maybe you have just, like we did the elephants from Creative Fabrica. So if you want to use that, just know that this is technically for you guys, educational purposes only, and be mindful of using license and trademark images. Okay. So yeah, with that being said, let's get back into this. So I go through like several of them, and like I really start with the PJ, like with it. Well, now it's on running because I was looking for a certain type of image. But I started off with just looking for PJ Masks clip art. That's kind of how I started. And I only end up looking for running because in my regular search, and you'll see it on my silhouette screen, there was one, and I can tell like how it's set up. It's of them running, and I want to be able to I wanted to be able to kind of create something kind of similar to that. Like it was one of the ideas that popped in my head once I saw that. It's not a full design, but it sparked something as far as creating a design similar to it. But I'm just going to go and search for images. If it is a true PNG, oh, this is a really high resolution one, but their faces look kind of weird. So if it's a true PNG, if I go in and I go ahead and copy image and I come over to Silhouette Studio and I paste and I get black behind it, that is a true PNG. That's not going to trace well for me. So we're going to go ahead and delete that. I'm going to go back over to Google. And we're going to right click and we're going to save image as. So once we go ahead and save it as an image, which it should download over here somewhere pretty soon here, I'll be able to drag and drop that or merge that into my silhouette design area. All right, so we're just going to go PJ Mass Group 1. All right, and I'm going to, come on, there you go. Minimize it so that I can drag and drop. Right now, I am playing with fire. I really have way too much stuff opened up in Silhouette Studio. And the moment I go to start to try and trace stuff and trace and detach and do all that, it just might shut down. So I'm going to give you all that little disclaimer now. It might shut down, but I'm not worried about it. Let me try to minimize that by closing down some of these files. There is a post and a video that's going to come up on this one pretty soon here. So we're going to go yes on that one. All righty. I don't need to save that one. I do want to save this one. Elephant. Uh-oh. Watercolor elephant stickers. You got to give me a minute to save this. Oh, I guess while I'm saving it, I'll talk through it because there's a question over here. What is better to cut, SVG or PNG? It all depends on how you're trying to cut it. If you're trying to cut out each individual piece of it, then an SVG is going to be better. It's highly unlikely that you will find a lot of times these like on free platforms where it's an SVG and all this are broken up. But if you're just trying to do something that is printed, digital, eco-solvent, DTF, you can get a PNG or a JPEG. You just have to remove the background on it. What was this? Destined to be incredible draft. Oh, sorry. I don't know why it's doing this little pulsating thing. Sorry, y'all. Okay. What happened? Destined to be incredible draft. Oh, I wrote it in the wrong spot before. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh. Copy. Okay. All right, there we go. So that way, lessen the likelihood of this shutting down on me. Okay. So, like I said, I just go looking for a whole bunch of files, whole bunch of images. I bring them into Silhouette Studio. Some of them have the outline around it. I'm not going to go through every last one of them as far as tracing and detaching them. Am I going to trace and detach on every last one of these? Absolutely not. Some of these are inspiration pictures. And so I don't have to do anything with them. They are there simply for that purpose, and that's it. But I'm not going to go through tracing all of them on live. Once you've seen the trace of one, it's pretty much the same across the board. Okay. But whenever I start a design, I need to know. Ooh, hold on. Okay. Wait, hold on. All right, it should be in focus now for you guys. I need a color palette because I am going to um, design certain things. Like this has the birthday kids' names on it. There's names on the back. And of course, we want those to match. Most times, you guys know, I'm going to tell you to use a color chart. You guys won't be able to see it on Facebook and YouTube, but on TikTok, you guys will see. If I'm just like designing just something in general, I'm always using a color chart. And this is the one on my Tumblr, but I do have color charts printed out on every single media and every single method that I use. I have about 1 million color charts printed out around and available around my office. But for this, I'm using images that are already made. So I'm going to use those colors within those images to create my color palette. All right, so we're going to come down here. I'm going to just use their logo. It's probably going to be the better place to get these colors from. So we're going to make a box, circle, star. It doesn't matter what it is. I just need a shape that I can add color to. I'm going to come over here and come into the like darkest greenest part of this. There we go. And sample that. Then we're going to go ahead and make a couple of duplicates of that. I'm going to go to the next one, go ahead and sample the darkest area of the blue, the darkest area of the red, the dark blue that is here. And then, of course, always I do black and white. So just going to go black and white. And you can see, like you'll see up here that I always, even if I'm doing a specific color palette for a specific job, I'll put those colors in there just for the heck of it. So the reason why I need this one for the simply for color palette purposes, but more so for to create this gradient. Like this gradient is made up of these first three colors. And then there's some white on the top. So what I'm going to do is, which is outlined completely in my 30-day training. So when we go through like the day for fill and gradients and patterns and all that stuff, I go over in detail like how to do this. But I mean, it's really simple. So I'm going to come down here, new palette name. I'm just going to go PJ Mask. Uh-oh. So PJ Mask. And then hit enter. So there is an empty palette right there. I'm going to go ahead and select all of these, and we're going to hit the plus sign and add them to the palette. Once they are added to the palette, I can now create my custom gradient. So I'm going to just make a box. I'm going to go over to my gradient. I'm going to choose any color. Doesn't matter which one it is or which gradient it is. I'm going to go down to advance. That palette that I created is now at the bottom. So on that first one, we're going to add the green. On that last one, we're going to add the red. I'm going to find in the middle somewhere, and I'm going to add that blue. I now have a gradient that matches the PJ Masks logo, so that if I want to use that in any text and things like that, custom text, which I am going to make custom text for this, I can match the theme of this. I can match the colors of this theme, but be able to put my own words, my own spin on it, maybe put it in like their names or the parent's name or the titles on the back or whatever. So I create my gradient. And I can save that to a palette as well. So I can either put it up there, I'm just going to hit like that, and I'm going to add that gradient so that I can use that if I need it. I didn't title it PJ Masks, but I can. But that's how I do that. Now, there are some that have technically like other colors too. And if you want to create color palettes with these colors, or if you want to sample from the images themselves, because sometimes the color is a little bit different on them, you can do that also. So I'm going to go back to the fill pattern, and then we're going to sample. Let's say if I wanted that green, the darkest green of him, we're going to select this blue, this blue, this red, and this like pinkish area. I can do that as well if I wanted to have those as a secondary color palette. And I can add that to this one. So we're just going to select everything here, hit the plus sign, and I've added those to this color palette. I don't really need to add these here because I'm going to just go from here, but you can add it. Like if you know that you're going to do a lot of PJ Masks, you may want to have it there. But I typically just kind of select from here because when I use my properties dropper, it'll give me the color also without the line color. So it's just personal preference in how you design. All right. And I'm going to hit save again so that my gradients, my color palette save. When I first opened this up, I went in and I went file, save as, and this says PJ Mask images because this is not where I'm going to do my final design. This is simply where I am setting everything up. And once I have everything set up, I will move it to a different page to start creating so that it's not all on the same. So that is my little pro tip on how I, like I said, just my design process. I have a page that's just for images. I'll probably even open up a different one to start creating the text files, and then eventually they will all come together. But I typically don't always like design everything all in one design palette, okay, on one design page. Wow, I never knew you can do that in Silhouette. That's what I'm here for. Our 30-day training. Our 30-day training shows you everything that you can do in Silhouette, like those types of things. I'm telling you, y'all, it's where you need to be at. Hop on getting that 30-day training over in on our website, shop.hsink365, or go to 365 Creative Academy. All right, so that one is saved. And now it might shut down on me because I got too much going on. But we're going to see if I can actually get these traced because Lord have mercy. Let's see. All right, so we're going to come over here. This is the next part of this. We're going to go over to our trace window. We're going to go select trace area, place our box around it, take our threshold up until all edges are masked in yellow. You don't have to have everything filled in. You simply want to get it to right where it is masked in yellow to try and get the best possible trace without having a lot of like white areas and things like that on it. So I'm going to see if I go down to like 72, okay, so I'm losing some of my green up here. I'm going to go back up. Okay, so, all right, so we're going to stay at 73, and then we're going to go trace and detach. She says, get it, get it, get it. You won't be sorry. All right. Yes, I'm in Silhouette Studio right now. And we're going to go ahead and move this away. And let me tell you how I know I did a really good job of adjusting my threshold. I still have some of the color here, which means if I were to turn on my line color, it's going to be fairly close to the edge, which is what I want. All right. So I did a really good job on that one. And we're just going to delete that. Now, these are all individual. We're going to move this one out of the way because it does not have any inner parts. However, these two do have some inner areas that need to be removed. So now it's a secondary trace. I'm going to go ahead and group them together so that the system sees them as one. We're going to go back to trace, put our box just in the area where I need to remove that white part. I'm going to take my threshold up, and we're going to do a regular trace, not a trace and detach. Then we're going to go ahead and click on that trace, fill it with color. Doesn't really matter what color it is. Right click, release compound path. I like to take my transparency down so I can see where I'm clicking. I'm going to hold down Shift and click in those areas where I need to remove the white. Then with everything else on there still selected, we're going to hit delete on our keyboard to remove that. This is why we grouped it together so that I can subtract these as one. I'm going to show you guys, this is what I teach in the 30-day training, the foundations, the why, not just the how. I'll show you what happens if they were not grouped together. So I'm going to go ahead and select them, go over to modify and subtract. Boom. Those white parts are gone away. Had I not grouped them together and I select it and I go subtract, hey, I only have one of them. Reason being is subtract only leaves what is the bottom layer. That went over your head. You're like, what the hell does that mean? Go ahead and enroll in the 30-day training and I fully break that down for you. So I'm going to undo this real quick, right? I'm going to send her all the way to the back. And I'm going to select that and I'm going to hit subtract. Oh, whoa, now owlet stayed. There is a reason for that. So for subtract, it really depends, like it really matters the order that you have things set up in and if they are separated, how they are on the screen. If they're ungrouped, you're going to lose a lot of stuff. Certain things need to be grouped. Some things need to be a compound path. I break all of that down in the 30-day training, the good, the bad, the ugly, the mistakes, everything. There is an intentional mistake on one of the files so that you fully understand why these things are important. All right. So I don't need that anymore. I always remove my line color. So that's there. I'll show you guys. I want to do this one because I do have to do a little bit of point editing on this one. We're just going to make that a little bit bigger. And I also want you to see it doesn't matter if it is a JPEG with a white background, with a checkerboard background, or if it's a true PNG and it's a transparent background, you're still going to have to trace and detach. So if this was something that I was going to do as a print and cut, for eco-solvent stickers, for Jet Pro 3G, anything like that, I would need to have what's called a vector cut line. So that is how you tell the machine where to cut. Tracing and detaching on this is also very important because it's going to help you determine the correct sizing. Whenever, like this had extra space around it. So from like when we're looking at the size of this, this says what 16 and some change by 16 and some change is actually a perfect square. There's extra space at the top, extra space at the bottom and on the sides. So if I wanted this to be like 10 inches, if I make my design, like if I make that selection 10 inches, my characters from top to bottom are not going to be 10 inches. So you have to trace and detach so that you eliminate all of that extra area and you have the true size of your element. All right. So we're going to go back over to trace, select trace area, put our box around it, take our threshold up. All right, I'm going to end up doing this kind of like twice because I forgot to do something. I'm going to go trace and detach because I went up way too high, but it's fine. I'm going to fix that afterwards. Hey, welcome all into the live video. I am working in Silhouette Studio. Oh, sorry, my mouth got dry. What I am doing right now is prepping for when I'm going to complete. Did I trace and detach? When I complete this design, I'm not completing the full design. I'm not completing the full design here on live. I will do it with my Foundation of Designing students. But this is, haha, see, I knew it was going to happen. It shut it down. So disrespectful. Review changes, although it's not going to work, it's going to shut it down. It's fine. We're going to open it back up. I'll answer these questions that I have on the screen while I wait. I'm going to pause, give it a little second, and then we're going to open it up. I don't think I saved it after I traced, so I might have to go back to the original. We'll see when we open it up. So I sent an email to the admin. I can't find my course. What do I do? Not sure which course you signed up for, but all of our classes are on our 365 Creative Academy website. So they will be in your dashboard. You can purchase it over here on our HS Ink website. You're going to get 3 emails. You're going to get your confirmation. You're going to get our, I guess, kind of like a directive email that we set up through our Klaviyo, which is our email marketing account. And then if you're brand new to my courses or my classes and my programs, you're going to get a 3rd email. It might be in your drafts, your promotions, your spam folder, not your drafts, your spam folder, your junk folder, your promotions. Just search all mail search all mail to find that one. If you search Academy, it should bring it up. It's going to come from our Academy site. It's going to be your Express sign up link. That is where you're going to set your password and all that kind of good jazz. Once your password is set, you'll be able to log into your dashboard, see your course, click Start Course, and get access to all of the content. All right, let's see if you're ready to open back up. The other question over here was, what is your preference for high resolution images that you pick? I don't have a preference. I'm looking at, it's a couple different factors. I have videos where I break down resolution and what you should be looking for. It's also based off of the size of the design that you're going to create. So I don't have a specific one. It's just knowing, based off of how large I'm going to make it and how clear and crisp that image is when I'm looking at it on screen. All right, let's see. Yep, it did not save. That's okay. We're going to go File, Open Recent. This is why we also hit save a lot. I just wish I would have saved on my first traces, but I didn't. So we're going to have to most likely trace those again because I saved it at the color palette. Yeah, I'm going to have to save it again. Let me tell you what I'm going to do. We're going to go ahead and which one did I trace? I don't even remember. Sorry. We're going to go ahead and just copy these 2 into a new window. And we're going to trace it from over here. And I don't know which one I'm going to use, right? I literally just pick a bunch of images. It doesn't mean that I'm going to use all of these, but I rather have them available so that I can mix and match and change things around and do what I need to do. So if you go into it and you're just looking for that one perfect image, you're kind of setting yourself up for failure. You want to get different images. And you can mix and match them if need be. But I always look for multiple images and bring them into like onto my design area. And once I have them traced and once I'm moving things around and arranging them and trying to figure out the layout and the composition, I might decide on a different one. You know, there's two different sets of these, like this group, right? I may want to use his image like this, but I may want to use him running. I may not want to use the one of her flying. I might want to use the one of her standing up on this one. So you're just going to decide based on that. All right. Based off of like how you want it to look. So we're going to come over here and we're going to go back to trace, select trace area, place our box around it. We're going to take our threshold up and trace and detach. Now, I don't have a lot of little small areas. I don't know why it's doing this because there's no open areas. Why is it taking so long and shutting down my Silhouette Studio? This is why sometimes I prefer to trace things over in version 3.6. It doesn't take this long. I still use version 3.6 for most things, but if I decide to teach it, I kind of have to do it from 4 because that's what most of you guys use. But baby, when I tell you I'd rather be doing this from version 3.6, that's exactly what the heck I mean. I'd rather be doing this from version 3 and see. Okay. Watch this. Hold on. Oh gosh. Okay. Un momento. All right, let's do you like that, which makes me so mad. Discard all. We're gonna come over here, open up Silhouette Studio. Let's open up my, what's this thing called? My StreamYard over yonder. Let's log into my StreamYard. Now I gotta go get this darn code. All right. You guys might hear a little bit of a feedback. Yeah. Okay, y'all gonna hear the echo. Whoa. Okay, let's see. Do we still have an echo? Okay, I think that corrected it. I just had to turn the speaker down over here. All right. You guys should not hear an echo or feedback. All right. So let's go through doing this over here, shall we? All righty. We're going to grab you. I'm still going to do it in a new window just for the sake of this. On Facebook and YouTube, you guys can hear me, correct? All right, we're going to go over to the trace. And we're going to go, wrong mouse, select trace area, place our box, take our threshold. Unless this file just weird. Unless there's something weird about this file. Boom. See? No issues. 4.4 or any of the version 4s drive me absolutely bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. They're connected. So we're going to just copy that one, take it back over here, paste. And I'm going to take this one, copy, delete, paste, and I'm going to trace this one. Select trace. So no matter which version you're using, the steps are still the same. It's just a different version of it. Actually, you know what? I'll leave those over there. I'll just resave it. And so I'll do this one. Actually, no, which one has the white? This one has white around it instead of checkerboard or transparent. So you guys can see that it's the same exact steps for this. So we're just going to go back to trace, select trace area, place our box, increase our threshold, trace and detach. And there we have it. Oh, wrong keyboard. Okay, I know I'm probably going to use this one and this one. So copy and paste. And I'm actually going to do all of these at the same time. or at least attempt to do all of them at the same time, since I'm over here in version 3. Trace and detach. It's a lot because it's 3 different ones. So it's trying to read through all 3 images, but it shouldn't shut down. There we go. And boom, boom, and boom. So now I'm just going to go File, Save As, PJ Mask, traced. And I'm just going to save it right back in my share folder. That way I can come back over here and I can open it up. And I have access to all of those. So the next part after this, it would be me going through selecting fonts. I go through and I'll pick at least 3 to 4 fonts, and I'll type out all of the, type out their names, add just a generic color to it just because it's easier to select it. I'm going to go through, I'm going to choose like 4 fonts, and then I start to create the design based off of that. I have some inspiration ones in there. I'm going to break it down to my foundations of designing students, what those inspiration pictures are for and what I saw in them when I selected them, what part stood out to me, and why I'm using it as an inspiration or like a foundation to the thought process and how I wanted my design to go. So unfortunately, you guys won't get that unless you are a foundation of design enrollee, your student in that program. You're going to see that because I'm actually about to end this one pretty soon and hop on over there. Should have named it PJ Mask. Why would I do that? I mean, I just needed it for when I bring it over here. I mean, it's not my actual like final one. It's just the traced images. So we're going to go File, Open. And in my share drive, PJ Mask, Trace. So this is one of the reasons why I love having my WD My Cloud, because I can do things on one computer, go and change it over to the other. I mean, had I saved it to my library, it would be the same thing. It would be there if I had my library connected on both, but I don't utilize my library for any design elements. I only use it for like templates and like little things. As far as anything related to a design, I don't save it to my Silhouette Studio library. So I just save it to my my cloud drives, whether it is my Google Drive or my WD My Cloud, most times my WD My Cloud, and I'm able to just seamlessly open it from any computer that has that drive on it. It was supposed to be a joke, but okay. Yeah, I didn't get it. Sorry. And I see that there was one part that was missing here that I did not cut out right there, and actually right there also. So we're going to go ahead, select trace area, place our box in here, and we're going to take that threshold up, trace it, fill that trace in with color, release compound path, hold down Shift, select those areas. It's only 2, so I didn't need to take my transparency down. Select them, modify, and subtract. Boom. There we go. Now they are ready for me to start to arrange along with my text and put this design together. So I'm going to go ahead and get off this live because I really, really need to go and design these because I'm on a time crunch. I have a whole bunch of designs for 2 different birthdays, Memorial, and And for the one of the birthdays, it's not just shirts. I got a whole bunch of other stuff I have to design because these are both parties for Sunday. So yeah, let me get off of here. But hopefully this has helped you just kind of understand the beginning of it. If you are someone who kind of tries to do everything all on one design screen, one, especially in Silhouette Studio, it can cause it to shut down, as you can see. Two, just really breaking, like what I want you guys to take from this is I break it down and I don't try to think about the entire design all at one time. If it is something where I have to create special colors, gradients, or fonts and things like that, I create those as separate elements. I want to love whatever element I create. I want to love it separately. And once it is put in my design, it should only enhance the design. It should not make the design because this element is there. I like for each element to stand on its own, and then I bring them together in one final design. All right. So, that's all, folks. If you enjoyed this video, make sure that you guys please give this video a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button as well as the bell so that you are notified when I go live and you don't miss great gems like this, or if I release pre-recorded content. If you're watching over on Facebook, make sure that you follow, go into your notifications, put it to see first, so that no matter if it's a live video, if it is a post that I make, send me a friend request on Shakia Lavelle. That is my business profile, so I accept friend requests over there. You can also follow that or follow the Soloholics Anonymous and Honestly Speaking Facebook pages. Visit our website, shop.hsink365.com. That is where you're going to find our incredible game-changing sublimation paper that allows you to sublimate as low as 365 degrees, as fast as 30 seconds. Whenever I'm pressing, unless it's something really, really cheap fabric like the pillowcases from Dollar Tree, I don't have to put any butcher paper or any type of barrier in between. I don't have to put any butcher paper on top as long as my substrate is not going to damage or bleed off or melt onto my heat press. Very, very rare that you'll ever see me use a lint brush because it releases the ink at such a low temperature and in such a fast time that those little blue squigglies, they don't have time to actually develop. So check out our website. If you have the newer workforce, the chips are back in stock on the site. So you can go get your 812 XL chips on the side, and this is where you also can sign up for classes. All right, y'all, until next time. So we have a class at 4 for you. So the class tonight is still at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but I'm about to finish this design up on Zoom with you guys right now. So Miss Dawn, go to your dashboard. There is a Zoom link. It's quite a few of you guys waiting to get in now, and you're going to see me finish the entire design up. Tonight's class is separate. That is a dedicated, that is our scheduled class. We're going to go over. This is a bonus session. All right. All right, y'all. Peace. Oh, wait, I can't say it that way. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Now we can say peace.